A guy who has always been incredibly generous with his time with us. We really enjoy the visits on Monday afternoons during the season. Christian Ostrander stops by, and I guess it feels like baseball season does in May and June right now. It doesn't quite feel like fall, but fall camp for baseball. The camp portion, actually, we got to wait just a little while longer, but individual workouts have begun. You've gotten back on the field with your guys. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. So school started up Monday. We had our meetings, Sunday, Monday. We were on the field yesterday and literally just, came off the field to get up here. And so we're jumping in. It's more skill work, like you said, and we'll open up our fall camp on September 19th.
What do you want to accomplish in fall camp?
Just really learn the newcomers, which for us, it's the model we've been doing. It's 12 high school kids and 4 transfers. And those high school kids were here for 6 weeks this summer with our strength coach. So you got to know them a little bit, but the 4 transfer guys, just getting to know them and just finding the DNA of this new group. I mean, just kind of building that identity and setting things in, getting the plans in, and just kind of figuring them out.
Oz, it's such a unique formula that you use, and I think you've been kind of stuck with it. That's the right formula for you guys. I mean, you look across campus at the football team, and there are 80 new players this year, and it was a complete reset for them. Why is it that you have said, because there are a lot of baseball programs that are doing it differently as well, that you've said, we're going to stick to this, we're going to continue to rely on high school players and working to develop them?
Well, it's just kind of, what we believe in, and it's worked. I think when we started that pursuit, I can remember, going to Coach Barry years ago and just saying, man, I really want to build the pitching staff with high school arms, let them grow, develop, and that trend really worked, and it's done so with position players. And I love junior college. I played it, I coached it, but it's just the model for us. If we're going to be a true developmental program, get good young talent in, let them grow, and by year 3, hopefully they get their opportunity. So, and the other part of it is with the portal, we're users of it, but we're very selective. The most we've ever brought in is 4 in one year. That's kind of our niche, but we can't afford. I mean, the price tag for a weekend guy that we need to be competitive nationally, I mean, those price tags are too high. So, for us, this is the right model. Take care and reward our guys as they grow.
Speaking of that, in recruiting, how much has that changed the conversations? Because we hear it from our audience, a little bit of cynicism that, it's only about money, that's all that matters to all these players that you're recruiting. Even in baseball, the dollar has become part of it. But how much has that changed for you here at Southern Miss?
We're doing it. We're doing a great job of it. Our roster value is competitive. I think one of the tops in our league, and but we're rewarding our guys. It's almost like an incentive based. They're just going to keep getting a little bit more as they go up, and what a weekend arm, what that value for us is. But also being able to use it to maybe keep a guy from going in the draft, for a slot value that he didn't think that he might have been more deserving of. So there's ways to make big splashes.
So relationships still matter is what you're saying.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, and we've been up there in the top. I don't know the exact numbers, but I guarantee you this. We got to be in the top 5 in Division I player retention. I think we've kept guys. They stay here, and that's a large part because of the community, the fan base, the tradition, success. You got to win, but you got to treat them right too. And I just think we're in a unique spot to where this model really works for us.
Is it tougher to replace a guy like J.B. Middleton, a guy that you can put out there on Friday night and every week and compete, or a guy like Nick Monastery who just does everything for your baseball team?
Sure, they're hard to replace. There's no doubt. I mean, great production for us, but there's somebody ready to move up and take on a bigger role, and it's just freshman year to sophomore to junior. Year 3 is when you get famous, and that's the really, really great ones might do it in year 2. Tanner Halls, people like that, but it takes time, and you got to have patience with that model that we're doing. So hard to replace them. You don't replace them, but you just need somebody else to go in there and be productive.
There's been so much talk for a long time about adding scholarships for college baseball, and we finally gotten to that point. But we've also gotten to a place that I know a lot of coaches are not super excited about with roster limits. There was so much back and forth. That is in place for this year, right?
It is, yes.
Okay. So baseball matters so much here. We know that. You've talked about it. Jeremy's talked about it. You have the tools you need in terms of scholarships, kind of growing that number. And what about this whole roster limit conversation? Because I know there are a lot of coaches that are not a big fan of that.
I think you're scared if 34 was all the bodies you could have at this point to walk in the fall. That's scary to me because that makes it hard to have a really good fall camp of scrimmages, stuff like that. You got injuries. It's a spring sport. A lot can happen from now to then. So, but that's not the case. You just have to declare the 34 by December 1st. You can bring in who you want to bring in, and we've never been real high. We usually around that 40, 41 mark, and that's where we're at now. And so that number's fine for us because there's going to be some guys that just aren't ready to be that 34-man roster as a freshman, and they might need another year to grow, and you're going to have some injuries, I'm sure. So
can those guys practice in the spring?
Yeah, as far as we know, what we've been told. I mean, that's their
that could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right. I'll be honest with you. That clarification still is not. It's very vague.
Okay.
My guess will be yes, you can. It might be where it's not with the collective group, side sessions, whatever, being able to do the work. So. That's a good question.
I'm curious your thoughts on specialization. I mean, you're seeing it younger and younger. I know somebody that has their almost 7-year-old doing travel baseball. You as a coach, do you like that players are playing constantly from that young age, or would you encourage them, go play basketball in the winter, go play football in the fall, do other things besides just baseball 365?
Yeah, 100%. I would encourage that. I can't sit here and say that I wouldn't want to play baseball 365 as that opportunity when I was a kid, but it gets extreme. There's some of them that are crossing the line with it, in my opinion, that are just pouring it down kids' throats when they're not ready for it. Let them go be kids. Let them go see if football's a thing for them or basketball or whatever. And I didn't have sons. I had daughters, and, but if I did, if he wanted to play baseball, I'm going to let. If he wanted to play football, I'm going to let him, or whatever it might be. So I do think it's too much.
Christian Ostrander is our guest. Sports Talk Mississippi on the road. It's the Not Fall Camp Tour presented by Pearl River Resort. I was talking to you before we got started about the fall schedule. You've got teams that are doing scrimmage games with other programs, and you said you did it the very first year back in 2019, but you have opted not to go that route, but for a very specific reason.
Yeah, it was. I'll never forget. After the first year doing it, I felt like being. I was a pitching coach for Coach Berry then, and that it really disrupted our fall plan. And I felt like I lost some opportunities. And we talked about it, and he was fine with doing it without having one that year, and had a good year. Whatever. I mean, it was after COVID, and we just never did it. We just never went back, and we're able to make sure we're getting what we need to get done. Is there value going and playing somebody in the fall? Yes, but I don't think you're playing those games to win outright. I think you're playing to get guys out there and stuff. So are you teaching them how to win by doing that versus exhibition? I don't know. So for me, we get more out of, just doing what we do for our 6 weeks.
And I'm sure everybody is in agreement with your decision. There's no pushback, no dissension at all from anybody that would like to see you, in full uniform against another team in October.
Well, when they start seeing stuff on social media of other programs doing it, they're going to wonder why we aren't. So, we'll catch that flack. But there is a reason. We're not just being lazy. So it's and it's worked for us. So we're going to keep doing that.
Are you having a good time?
Right now?
Did you see that face? It was that eyebrow went up. He's like,
I kind of meant bigger picture, but yes, of course, right now.
I am the luckiest guy, and I know it's so cliche, but I mean it. I say it. I said it to our guys in our first team meeting. This is a dream opportunity, dream job. I'm thankful and blessed. I mean, it's 51 years old. It took a long time for me to get to this point. My route was very different than a lot of top 25 program Division I baseball coaches in my mind. So I'm very thankful and appreciative, and having a blast.
Did you find